that even mean, Bowers game?
Hey there, YouTube. I'm back again for another How to Play video, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Elf Snowball Showdown card game from Funko Games for 3 to 6 players, ages 6+. And the first thing you're going to want to do is get the 2 separate piles of cards, which one have snow on the back and one have a bunch of purple people getting hit. And you're going to mix up the snow pile and put all the cards in the middle where everyone can reach them. And everyone is going to draw 4 cards. So every player in the game should have 4 cards, and these will be your hand. Keep them secret, but you can look at them. You're going to place the snowball die in the middle of the table where everyone can reach it, and the youngest player is going to get this snowflake token. This is the first player token. They will go first, and then play will move to the player on the left, and then to the left you'll go clockwise the remainder of the game. So let's talk about what you're going to do on your turn. And the first thing you're always going to do is throw a snowball at someone else. Now, if it ever gets to your turn and you don't have any snowballs in your hand, then you draw cards from the center until you have at least 1 snowball card. And one important rule to mention is that if you ever run out of cards, then you immediately get to draw 2 cards, even if it's not your turn. But I do have 4 cards in my hand, so I wouldn't be worried about that right now. So I'm going to throw snowballs, and I'll show you all the different options that I could have in this hand, because you have to match colors when you throw snowballs. So I could throw a 2 yellow at someone, I could throw a 2 red at someone, I could throw a 2 blue at someone, I could throw a 1 blue at someone, or I could combine these and play a 3 blue at someone. And yes, if this red happened to be blue, I could play a 5 blue at someone in that particular instance. But it's not. So let's just start off strong, and I'm going to attack this player with a 3 snowball attack. And how you do this is you just place the cards in front of that person, and they now become the defender. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to roll this die right here. And there's 2 different faces on it. There's draw, and then there's dodge. We're going to talk about dodge first, because dodge is what you want to see when you defend. If you land on dodge, what happens is now this snowball attack goes to that player. So if they rolled the player on the right, this means that this player would now have the snowballs coming at them, and they would be the defender. And then once again, they would roll this die. Now let's pretend that they happen to roll another elf dodge with going to the right. That would mean that the original attacker is now dodging their own snowballs, which you just can't do, and this player would immediately take a hit if they're ever trying to dodge their own snowballs. Likewise, if they had gotten a dodge to the left, then now this player would have to dodge the snowball again. But for the sake of this example, let's pretend they get a dodge to the left again, and then this player has to roll the die again, and this time they're not so lucky. And they get one of the draw 1 or draw 2 spots. Whenever this happens, the first thing is they're going to draw that many number of cards. You can't unblock that. But then we get into what's called the react phase. And in this phase, the defender is going to do one of 3 things. So the first thing they might do is play a buddy cards. And the buddy cards let you do one of 2 things. The first action is called hit. And this means that whoever threw the snowball at you now immediately just takes a hit card. It goes in front of them, and they are 1 step closer to losing the game. But if you don't want to do that action, you can also dodge to the right or to the left. And that depends on which card you have. So this card will let you dodge to the left. This card will let you dodge to the right. This is dangerous, though, because let's pretend you dodged it to the right. Now, these snowballs are going over here. This person is once again going to roll the die, and if they happen to dodge it right back at you, you're sitting in the same position, but now without your buddy card. But let's pretend they don't have a buddy card in their hand. So one of the other actions they can do is they can counter the snowball. So how this works is if they happen to have that particular color, an equal or higher amount of the snowball thrown at them, then they can do this counter. So if I happen to play this 3 blue right here, would equal their 3 blue. That would mean that the attack is blocked and no one is taking a hit card this round, and all played cards would go into the discard pile. And after you're done with it, someone's turn, you're always going to take all the played card and put them into a discard pile near the regular pile. And if the regular pile ever runs out, you shuffle up the discard pile and start using that. But back to our example here, there is another thing that can happen when you counter. So right now we've equaled their number, but what you can do is you can actually go above their number. And if you do that, then that means the person who threw the snowballs is going to take a hit card immediately and the round will be over. The attacker is then going to take a hit card, place it in front of them, and boom, 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 that turn is over. Last but not least, though, let's pretend that this player right here does not want to play a buddy card, and they do not want to counter or cannot counter their opponent. Well, that means they just take a hit. They place one of these in front of them, all the cards get discarded, and the turn is over, which means now the snowflake goes to the next player on the left. But now that you've seen what a turn looks like, let's tell you about these hit cards and why you don't want to take them. It's real simple. If you ever have 3 of these in front of you, then you have lost the game. Now, you are not out of the game, but you cannot win. So the first thing that happens is all your cards immediately get discarded except for your 3-hit cards, which stay out in front of you. You are now someone else's little helper elf. When it gets to you, you won't take regular turns, but instead you'll draw one card from the center and then you get to hand it to one of the other players in the game. Your turn is then over and it continues to pass to the left like normal. And you're going to continue to play until only one player is left standing. So in this example right here, this player would be the winner because the other 2 opponents have gotten 3 hit cards. 2 more small side notes to talk about, and then we'll get you out of here. So first and foremost, this is a wild card. It does not count as a buddy in any way, shape, or form, but it will allow you to add 1 of any color when you need it. Also, if you play this card by itself, you get to pick the color. Secondly, if only 2 players are left in a game, a dodge simply stops any thrown snowballs and ends the turn. So instead of it dodging it back into your opponent's face and them taking a hit card, which would happen if you're at 3 through 6 players left in the game, instead, the attacker would then become the defender, and the defender would then become the attacker, and you continue to go until only one person is left standing. But that is Elf Snowball Showdown card game. If this helped you out, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments below what's your favorite Christmas movie of all time. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.